Hello everyone, my name is Oscar Flores and this is my presentation on interpersonal skills. Alright, so this video is meant for people who have had arguments with team members or coworkers and just wonder, why the argument took place in the beginning. It's also meant for team members that would like to maximize their team's performance or for people who are looking for jobs and want to make sure that they don't blow the interview. So this sounds like you. Developing your interpersonal skills is the answer to most of your questions. So interpersonal skills are life skills used to communicate and interact with other people. A way of thinking about it is thinking as the word interpersonal skills as an umbrella term used for a bunch of simpler skills. Okay, so this is a list of all the skills needed to ensure that you have good interpersonal skills. But for this video, I'll just be covering 5 of them. Verbal communication, listening, questioning, responsibility and accountability, and assertiveness. Okay, so let's start with verbal communication. Verbal communication can be described as what we say and how we say it. For example, if I need something and I tell my coworker, "Hey, go do this now," he might be like, "Oh man, I'm not gonna do it." But if I say in a different tone, like, "Hey, do you think you can do this for me?" I'll get a different reaction, even though I said the same thing. The way I said it in the first time, I won't get the results I need. But if I say it with a better tone, it'll get done. So another example is, for example, if I'm interviewing with, a hiring manager, and they ask me, a question like, "Why should we hire you?" Uh, if I was nervous, I could be like, "Oh, I just graduated college. I'm top of my class. Blah blah." I'm talking really fast, and they can get a bad vibe, and that can cost you the job right there. So to avoid this, you just try to remain calm before you get in there. Take deep breaths. Once you're in there, make sure you're making eye contact and smiling while you're answering all the questions. So listening skills. Listening is not the same as hearing. So when you're talking to somebody and you're trying to listen to them, you want to make sure that you're paying attention and understand what they're trying to get across. And you're not thinking of something you heard on TV or something you did yesterday. Also, you want to be also yeah you want to make sure you're acknowledging what they're saying. Like you can be like, "Oh, okay, that's a good idea," or nodding your head, just to reassure them that you're listening. So asking questions will demonstrate that you're interested in what the other person had to say, which will result in a more meaningful conversation. And also, if you don't understand something, make sure to clarify with them, like, "Oh, is this what you meant?" or statements like that. Okay, so when dealing with team members or coworkers, make sure you hold yourself accountable and don't blame other people for your mistakes. Always take ownership of your mistakes, and this will take you far in many areas. Also, if you say you're going to do something, make sure you do it, because people aren't going to forget of what you were supposed to do. They're going to ask you, what happened. All right. Finally, we're going to talk about assertiveness. Assertiveness is standing up for what you believe in. So the goal here is not to be too passive or too aggressive. It's just letting people know how you're feeling. For example, if you have a team member that's not pulling their weight, you're not gonna go. You don't want to just do the work for them, or you also don't want to confront them and be like, "Yo," try to fight them and stuff. You want to try to get that middle ground. Just let them know, "Hey, you're not doing your part. What's going on?" and get the issue resolved like that. Also, as the foundation for a successful negotiation. For example, if you're in an interview and they ask you uh, how much you want to get paid, and you're like, "Oh, I don't know," or too passive about it, and they're like $9, like a really minimum wage. And if you're too passive, you're going to take it and it's just going to hurt you in the long run. All right, and I wanted to thank my professor, Lewis Evans, for giving me the resources to gather all this information for this slide. All right, so this information can help anyone in many areas, like I mentioned. For example, if you're a team member, if you're a coworker, or you're just trying to find a job, this information will, be a great asset to you. This was just a brief overview, developing all these interpersonal skills, and you got to keep in mind that all this does not happen overnight. It's going to take time, and so just keep studying on these topics, practicing, and before you know it, your interpersonal skills will be on point. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.